Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. This week we are getting spoopy. We are making pumpkin bundt cakes. For this recipe you will need 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, some freshly grated nutmeg, 240 ml of vegetable oil, 4 large eggs, 200 grams of brown sugar, and 100 grams of white sugar. And of course, because this is going to be pumpkin flavour, we need pumpkin puree. Now you can use one 400 gram can of pumpkin puree, or you can make your own pumpkin puree if you live pretty much anywhere that doesn't have pumpkin puree in cans. Now this is super easy to make, and it was my first time making it, and it's literally super easy. For this, all you will need is 1 sweet pumpkin. Simply cut the pumpkin in half, scoop out the seeds and the membrane. Now save the seeds, as you can roast these in the oven and they make great toppings for soups and salads. And place face down on a baking tray in a 190 degrees Celsius oven for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the size of the pumpkin. And basically what you want is a knife to just easily pass through the flesh. Then once cut, let cool, simply place into a food processor or a blender. If you don't have either of those, you can use a potato ricer or a potato masher. Just make sure the finished product is really smooth. Now, back to the cake mix. First, mix all of your dry ingredients together in a large bowl until well combined, and then make a well in the middle and crack your 4 large eggs into the center and mix to combine until you have a thick mixture. Then simply pour in your oil and then mix until you have a smooth but yet thick mixture, and then add in your pumpkin puree and give this a really good mix until everything is fully incorporated. Spoon the batter into your prepared bundt pans and bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 to 80 minutes, or when you can insert a toothpick and it comes out clean. Now you can also bake this into a normal cake. Simply just pour it into a normal springform cake pan and bake for 40 to 45 minutes, or once again until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. Once cut through, remove from the oven and allow to cool. And then once cool, trim the bottom to make them nice and flat. Now I'm making mine into ghost shapes because spoopy times. So basically you want to stick one on top of the other, and in order to do this we need some sort of food glue. Now I am using cream cheese frosting. So for this you want 240 grams of powdered / icing sugar, depends what you call it from where you're from, and 200 grams of softened cream cheese. Now to soften cream cheese, you just take it out the packet and you mix it a little bit. Then mix the icing sugar into the cream cheese until you get a nice smooth consistency. Then place some of the frosting between the 2 large flat ends of the bundt cakes and sandwich together. Then you can also pour some of the frosting in the gap at the top. Then next we're going to be covering these in white fondant. Now I had a 250 gram pack of white fondant which I divided into 4 and then rolled that into balls, and then you roll it out nice and thin with a rolling pin and then simply drape that over your cakes. Now as an optional step you can use some black food colouring with a clean or preferably new paintbrush and just draw some little faces on. I personally went for some little skulls. You can also just remove the middle of the bundt cakes and fill them with sweets to make a piñata cake. Personally, I filled mine with spunk. Right, now I know you're listening. Spunk is a wine gum type sweet that we have here in Denmark, but you could also use something like Skittles, Smarties or M&Ms, just something to fill the gap so when you cut into the cake they come out. that about wraps up this week's episode. I hope you guys have a safe but fun Halloween this year. If you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like down below. If there is something you want me to try and tackle on this channel, drop it in the comments below. And if you haven't done already, or if you are new around here, feel free to subscribe, because every subscriber means so much to me. And I'm personally hoping to get to around 100 by Christmas. It's slowed down a little bit recently, but hey, you've got to set your goals for these things. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next week.